Well, Ralph, this is the month of August, and therefore...
Don, you are so insightful. This is what I enjoy about this show.
This is obviously, Congress goes on a vacation, another one, for 5 weeks, right? Well,
and we should all get on our knees thank God, right?
Yes, and not the Republicans in the House of Representatives.
No.
Several dozen of them are meeting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Why are they meeting? Because they say the Democrats should come back to Washington and deal with the oil and gas issue. And I think they're making some headway.
Democrats should come back to Washington?
Yeah, they've left, and most of the Republicans
idea.
have left too. But there's several dozen who are meeting on the House today and for the rest of this week saying they've left while the people are being soaked by $4 a gallon gas prices and oil prices that are still very, very high historically. And they got to come back and they got to vote on a bill that includes everything, but particularly production, drilling for oil, which 70% of the American people say we should do. I think the Republicans are making headway in this, and the Democrats are on the defensive.
So this is about gasoline and I thought this was supposed to be two guys in a newsroom, not two guys in a gasoline station.
Yeah, this is more important than two guys in a newsroom.
It is.
Yeah, this has to do with the elections. And this, I think, is going to be the biggest issue. And here's what's really happening here.
What's really happening is gasoline has dropped to $3.87 for regular average throughout the nation. $1.18 hit a low this morning. $118 a barrel.
Right.
And this is really incredible. So what's the cause? Is it the Republicans standing around talking to an empty chamber with the Democrats back home campaigning? Or is it that the Democrats went home and they caused, which caused the gasoline, or was it the talk about drilling offshore oil and what caused this, Don?
Well, what's caused this is demand is very high globally, and the prices of oil are set in international trading. You talked about the average, and it's gone down a little. The only problem is the average American, working class American doesn't pay average, and they're paying sometimes $4, very close to $4. In many cases, dumber cases, over $4. This is a good issue for the Republicans.
Why are they paying more than the average?
Well, the average is higher some places, particularly in the urban areas.
That's what average means.
Yes.
Some places higher, some places lower.
And where demand is high, it's much higher. And so what's happening here, first of all, and McCain is bashing Obama on this. Yes. He's the guy that said, well, the way to deal with this is to put air in your tires and to have a tune-up. What next? Take the spare out of your trunk to lighten the load, lose weight?
Yeah, but that's what Jimmy Carter said. I want to know what
Anyway, you know what's
said.
Happening with Barack Obama?
What?
The polls, I think because of this issue, the polls are tightening up here.
It's incredible.
And McCain is getting a little, is getting closer to him in some of the battleground states. I think the American people, 70% say they want to have drilling. This has become an issue for the Republicans. It may be the issue in this election for Obama and for the congressional races. And I think they're making headway on this. And, you had Obama today, this week and last week saying, well, I said I was opposed to drilling. I think I'm a little bit for it now. And he said that in the speech last week.
He did a double sow cow or whatever they call it. Right in the air there. He flipped on drilling and on something else regarding oil. What was it?
Well, it was the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Yes.
That's
an
old
really dumb
bromide.
idea because the Strategic Petroleum Reserve
doesn't affect
oddly
anything.
enough is there for strategic defense reasons in case we get into a war and our supplies from overseas are shut off. We need to continue the war or lose. We need those reserves.
And now he's saying we should dip into that.
Now he wants to use them to. That's a really...
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
Is that responsible?
It doesn't affect prices.
But is it responsible?
It's not responsible from a national security point of view. And it doesn't affect prices. So he's backtracking. And, I think they got the Democrats really on the run on this issue. And people don't understand, who can't get 5 weeks off in the summer, why they didn't stay here and deal with this issue. Yes. Why? Because they don't want to vote on a Republican amendment that says we should remove the ban on offshore drilling. Why? Because it would pass the House now, and some Democrats would vote for it.
Yes.
So they'd rather keep the situation
the way it is. But in all due fairness, to both
like
sides,
the prices high.
Remember that John McCain, he's the Republican candidate. You remember him, Arizona. He was against offshore drilling. He was against Anwar drilling, right?
But
he was against. He was very green at one time.
He was, but he changed very early
green in the
on.
sense that he was for the environment, but he wasn't actually physically green.
Well, he changed.
or new. Or
yeah, Abraham Lincoln, said during the Civil War, we must think anew so we can act anew. John McCain says, look, these prices are ridiculous. We got to bring down oil and gas prices. I'm for offshore drilling. We got to get up production so we can lower the prices, and that's what's happening. And this debate may be affecting the prices that you talked about. So I think the Republicans are really breathing fire on this issue, and by staying in the House the way they are and putting attention on this, maybe they're going to make some headway on this. Although in August, a lot of people don't pay attention. They're on vacation.
What did you say about August?
You're on vacation?
Mentally. Almost always.